Somebody had to say it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Anime is way better than regular TV shows and movies, and there's a reason for it.
In case you were wondering, this video is completely comparing apples to oranges, and it's not a good comparison.
So you're probably thinking, hold up, why is there a grown-ass man telling me to watch a cartoon? Drop the ego for like 1 minute, please.
I was actually going to go off into an unbridled rage because he was making fun of my sensibilities, but then he used the word please and everything became perfectly okay.
An animation, a drawn-out cartoon, if you will, on a screen can sell you better emotion than a real-life human being, and there's a reason for it.
It appears like there's a reason for everything, which I guess there kind of is. But why this specifically?
Anime can express a feeling that regular humans can't express because otherwise it would be awkward.
Excuse me, but what?
It would be awkward for a human to scream at the top of their lungs about something that they're so passionate about because no one does that. That's just weird.
You know, I was gonna be a little bit more ranty, and I've noticed that I've become more ranty myself in these previous videos, so let's just go ahead and take a backseat to this and completely reduce this argument down. What is acting for 500, Alex?
But if an animated character did it, it wouldn't be weird. And the reason for this is that an animated character can express emotions that we bottle up and we don't really express outside as a human being because it's awkward, it's weird, and we've been taught to not do these things since we were a little kid. An animation can express the imagination and emotion that we haven't ever gone to before.
Oh dear, this is pretty awkward. I assume that we as humans have never expressed any sadness, anger, motivation. We've never had anything else happen in our lives, and we're pretty much just mundane creatures. We've never experienced happiness or loss. No pun intended. And we've also never experienced the joy or the sweet taste of victory. Whenever we win something, whenever we're playing a video game or even a real-life sport, I think that you're kind of reaching for this argument because real people do these things. And because you don't see them every single moment of the day or in every single episode of your real-life TV shows, doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It just means that you're closed off to the world of anime.
If you've watched Attack on Titan and you've seen the main character scream at the top of his lungs about something that he is so passionate for and he wants to achieve with all of his heart, and you've seen this guy scream, imagine putting a human in that place. It would just be awkward. There would be no emotional drive. There would be no inspiration. It would just be funny. It would be a comedy show. But if you put it into an animated character, it somehow has deeper meaning.
No, I would say if you put it into a TV show, it would more than likely just be considered acting, because we're watching something that's a form of entertainment, the same way that we're watching anime. Completely different. Sorry, I was getting Anime Matt vibes back again. It was PTSD kicking in. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everybody experiences these emotions and they put them into forms of media. So to say that one is better than the other is completely subjective, which I'm sure you probably think it is as well. I'm not going to insult your sensibilities here, but I think that you need to understand that when you're basing something because it's drawn rather than it's in live action is kind of fucking nonsensical if we're being honest here.
This is a feeling that a lot of shows really can't express to you. A lot of human beings, a lot of paid actors can't really express to you. When they sell you emotion, it's something that you've never seen a human being express before.
Human characters in an anime show got their emotions from humans. Do you know that anime characters are voiced over by voice actors?
Otherwise, it would just be weird. I don't know how to fully explain it, but when you watch anime, listen, sometimes I cry. But look, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay. I don't know why we brought it up to begin with, to be honest with you.
I had this friend back in high school, and he had these weight problems that he's always been trying to lose weight for many years, but he just couldn't ever seem to get it off. He started to watch Naruto for the first time ever, and he came back after that summer break, 25 pounds lighter. He shocked everybody. Everybody was stunned that he walked back inside of that school so much skinnier. He was so healthy, fit, and slim, and I asked him, yo, how did you do it? I know you've been trying to work on this for a long time. How did you finally lose all that weight? And he goes, bro, I just started watching Naruto.
That kid's name? Albert Einstein.
And I thought he was joking at first, but he actually wasn't. There was something about the emotion and the mental drive that show gave him. He said that it inspired him so much to train harder and work harder than he's ever done before that he came back to school that year, 20 pounds slimmer.
You know, that's a cool story and everything, but I don't see how someone can't do that with, say, like a real-life TV show or a real-life movie. Like, for example, someone could get inspiration from the movie Creed with Michael B. Jordan in it, and they can try to train and become like the, muscle person that they want to be. I can see where people take influence from any type of media that they want, but that doesn't inherently make anime better than real TV.
Character development is a big part of anime.
Well, we, I guess, just skipped over that point earlier, but now what does this have to do with character development in anime? Character development is in literally almost anything. Sometimes it's executed poorly, and sometimes it's flawless.
Since there are no human beings just playing the role or playing the part, now there's an animation, and that animation stays the same throughout the entire movie, and it doesn't ever repeat, so that animated character will never star in another movie.
That's kind of stupid because there's already anime where different characters from different series appear. Isekai Quartet is pretty recent. We also have Carnival Phantasm, Rave Master, Clamp in Wonderland, and even Cyborg 009 versus Devilman. These are great examples of crossovers in anime where the different anime characters come together. I don't think that you know exactly what you're talking about here, unless you mean voice actors?
Like we see many of these famous Hollywood movie stars in so many different movies, it kind of breaks immersion. If you've seen a certain actor in 5 different movies, how do you believe that they're really playing a part in this certain one? With common sense, you can infer that they're just doing this just to get paid, or they're just playing the role, or they're just doing their part. But with an animation, that's really who they are.
I'll have you know that Kana Hanasawa, one of the biggest voice actresses in all of Japan, has voiced over 100 different roles, and that's just on the low end. So if we're trying to make the comparison that an actor might appear in 5 or 6 other movies, then Kana Hanasawa is definitely making a killing off of being literally every lolly character or little sister character.
The character doesn't exist in the real world. The character doesn't exist anywhere besides that certain show or movie. And that's why you can feel so connected to an animation, even though it's literally just a drawing technically. You feel like you're really connected to that person because that person only exists in that certain show.
This dude would absolutely hate to play any Shonen Jump game that's ever come out, because all of the characters know each other from their respective universes, or at least most of them. And that's why we got wonderful lines like the Deku talking about Piccolo and how he's a villain. Because, get it, they came together.
Now, when you think of animation or anime, you're probably thinking of the regular American cartoons like Family Guy or American Dad.
No, I would think even a normie would probably say Pokemon or the Yu-Gi-Ohs before they say anything like Family Guy or American Dad being an anime. Maybe King of the Hill, though, because that's actual good shit.
It's nothing like that at all. These shows are usually made for comedic purposes and satire, but anime shows you the deeper meaning behind life, and it teaches you a lot of valuable lessons.
Can you find me the valuable life lessons in Super Milk-chan or Pop Team Epic? I mean, those are made for satire too. So we're really taking a weird approach to grasp at straws so we can make an argument about the big anime being better than the big TV shows, which is almost unfair anyways, but even if we're taking that line of logic, it still makes no fucking sense.
It also drives your emotion like I talked about earlier, which any of these American cartoons could never do.
I'd like to direct you to the episodes of Futurama, which I can't show you here, but those 2 episodes, the one with Fry's dog, or even with his nephew that was that passed away obviously because he's in the year 3000, but those 2 episodes are pretty good. They drive a lot of emotion, and I would say that the dog one probably made people cry a lot more. So this argument is fucking stupid.
Since there is no CGI in animation,
You serious?
and we aren't importing fake make-believe characters into a real-life world, there's no disconnect between both realities. In animation, it's all fake, so that somehow makes it feel all real.
Did you write a college paper on this to say that something that's not real feels more real than the things that are? I can't even process right now. I have no brain comprehension power to really throw at you with this. But I will say this though. Space Jam.
If I was to be standing next to Hulk, for an example, it would obviously be fake because this person doesn't exist in our real world. But if you were to draw out me and Hulk in the same room, it would make a little bit more sense because we are both in the same animated world.
Isn't this video supposed to be about how anime is better than real TV? Why do you care that the Hulk can't be real in this? This is fucking stupid.
Anime is usually a lot shorter than regular TV shows. The reason for this is because animation costs a lot of money.
Well, yeah, real life action stuff does too. I actually looked this up. I don't know if you actually care about facts. I don't think you do. But Attack on Titan Season 1 had a budget of about $5 million per season. And Game of Thrones, oddly enough, I don't watch it myself, had a budget for Season 1 as well of $60 million. So if we're really trying to go based off of how much money something cost, yeah, I guess you could say that anime is cheaper, but animation's tough.
And spending money to do anything besides building the character development or moving forward with the plot would just be a waste of money. And in real life shows, that may not be the case, since it's usually a 1 hour episode for each show. They can spend that hour however they want. But in animation, it's 20 to 30 minutes, so they got a crunch time and they have to deliver the best plot to you within that certain amount of time.
And then I raised the question of what happened to multiple seasons. You do know that Attack on Titan, I think, currently has about 3 seasons out. So I guess they kind of rushed through it, but I haven't heard any of those complaints. I would say that people are probably more upset with Game of Thrones Season 8 ending because I can't spoil it because I don't think anyone really cares, but yeah, they weren't too happy with it. And also, why does anime exclusively have to focus on character development? Doesn't that also happen in regular TV shows, or are you just using this because I want anime to be number one? I want anime to be the best thing ever, and no one can tell me different? Because that's about how it sounds.
A lot of shows drag on for many seasons, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons, and that can be a huge time investment. However, with most shows that I watch, like Death Note, Erased, or Attack on Titan, there's usually 1, 2, or 3 seasons at most, and every episode is 20 to 30 minutes, so it's substantially shorter than a regular TV show.
Do you know that One Piece has almost 1,000 episodes? So are we just not going to bring up the fact of seasons for that, or does that not fit this quota here?
One of my favorite parts of my favorite show, which is Death Note, is that time can be slowed down without breaking immersion.
This has to be a joke video. I have to believe that this is a joke video.
Time technically doesn't exist. So when you see L and Kira trying to outplay each other and outsmart each other in every move that they make while thinking in each other's brains, things don't get awkward. When Kira is trying to understand what L is thinking before he does, one of my favorite...
Oh no, I didn't make that jump in there. That was definitely him. He didn't know how to end that sentence and then just decided to go on to the next point because why would we have to make anything consistent here?
Favorite scenes is when Kira writes down the detective's wife's name, and when she asks why he keeps on checking his watch, all time pauses and time moves really slow. However, the snow keeps on falling at a regular rate.
Because I'm Kira.
If you try to recreate this scene inside of a real life movie set, it would be almost impossible.
So, like, special effects can't just be added post-processing, dude? Are we really doing this thing where we can't do something because only anime can do this because it's drawn? Those live-action things, they can't do that, even with CGI. It just wouldn't be believable. That's so fucking piss poor, and you know it.
The watch starts to slow down. Both characters don't say a word, and snow is falling at the same exact rate. You know what that's called in real life?
No, Lucid, what is it called?
Being awkward. And I'm really good at it.
+1 for self-awareness, I guess.
All of these points may sound insignificant or irrelevant, but when you put them all together, it really puts for making a really interesting plot, and it really does play on your emotions to make you a stronger and smarter person.
You mean like the great TV show The Boys that has 2 seasons? Oh, wait, we're still talking about anime, I forgot.
Now, if you can just drop your ego for 25 minutes and watch the first episode of Death Note, you'll thank me later.
I've seen all of Death Note, and I will never go back and watch Death Note again.
After you finish the first episode of Death Note, come back to this video and leave a comment and tell me exactly what you thought of your first anime ever.
Dearest weebs that watch this video, any anime viewer whatsoever, make sure that you steer clear your friends to never watch Death Note as their first series ever. I promise you it will do an entire world of good before it actually ruins anything. There are so many other good productions out there that I don't think that you really need to focus on this one specifically. If anything, I would say Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is probably a really good start. A lot of people that first get into anime really like that show. But that's enough of me rambling on about things that I know nothing about. I don't know how really to end this video, but if you've made it this far, then I definitely implore you to go to twitch.tv/necro_13, where you can see me streaming. And I'll be streaming there like right now. So when you're done watching this video, just go over there and then follow and then become a tier 3 sub simp. And then that way you can get the cool new emotes and stuff. But I guess that's all I really have. Big shout out to all the Patreons as well. You guys are completely the best people I've ever met. I know I messed it up. Just go over to Twitch. That's where I'm going to be at. That's where most of the streams are going to take place. See you guys later.